Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us. Today, we're going to put on our environmental detective hats and uncover the invisible elements that literally surround us every single day. We're going to examine exactly how these environmental mysteries are solved. And to do that, we're taking a really close look at the capabilities of a true industry veteran, Mid-Atlantic Laboratories. We're going to explore the massive, and I mean massive diversity of services they offer, and dive into the decades of deep expertise it actually takes to keep our communities, our businesses, and our water supplies completely safe. Okay, let's dive into this. What is really hiding in your environment? It's kind of a heavy question, isn't it? When we talk about environmental safety and regulatory compliance, the stakes, quite literally, could not be higher. We're talking about the water we drink, the air we breathe at the office, and the soil right beneath our feet. Finding out exactly what is in those elements isn't just about, checking a regulatory box. It's about safeguarding human health. And to do that effectively, you need an unparalleled level of scientific precision. 35 plus. Now, in the world of environmental science, longevity is everything. This number represents over 35 years that Mid-Atlantic Laboratories has been providing high-quality, ultra-precise test results as an independent analytical testing lab. That is over 3 decades of building a rock-solid track record in an industry where accuracy is basically the only currency that matters. And this brilliantly illustrates their remarkable evolution. They were founded way back in 1991 as a full-service environmental testing laboratory. Across over 35 years, they've been the trusted foundational partner for regional clients. But here's the thing. They haven't just stayed in the past. Today, they are right on the cutting edge, conducting advanced EPA 533 and EPA 537.1 testing for highly complex, modern compliance issues like PFS. They bridge the gap between foundational experience and modern scientific demands just perfectly. Geographically speaking, their footprint is highly focused and deeply rooted. They are state certified across Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, and North Carolina, operating out of strategic offices in Fredericksburg, King George, and Port Royal, Virginia. It's also really worth pointing out that they hold some crucial business certifications. They're SWAM certified, which means they are a small, woman-owned minority business in Virginia, and they're also micro-certified, along with being registered in the SAM and EVA portals for government contracts. Section 1. The Complete Testing Arsenal. So, to really understand Mid-Atlantic Laboratories, you have to understand the sheer breadth of what they do. This is a true one-stop shop. We are talking about major core categories here: water, wastewater, and stormwater, soil and compost, mold and air, radon, solids. Seriously, if it exists in your physical environment, they have the specialized protocols to test it. It's an incredibly comprehensive baseline of core services. Section 2. Specialized Environmental Diagnostics. Now, what's really interesting is when the environmental detective work gets intense. Let's start with the term you've probably seen in the news a lot lately: PFAS. This is an umbrella term for synthetic organic compounds containing fluorine atoms, which includes things like PFOS and PFOA. You might know them as forever chemicals. Testing for these requires incredibly advanced methodologies. Mid-Atlantic Labs handles the rigorous EPA 533 and EPA 537.1 compliance testing for public systems, making sure these microscopic threats are identified and accurately quantified. Here is another fascinating area: MIC, or microbiologically influenced corrosion. Imagine a massive industrial fire sprinkler system or a municipal cooling tower. They look completely sturdy on the outside, right? But microscopic organisms in the water can actually eat away at the metal from the inside out. It's wild. Mid-Atlantic Labs helps industrial and municipal clients diagnose these unseen structural threats way before a catastrophic failure happens. Let's compare standard testing to what happens when human lives are directly on the line. When dealing with hospitals, medical facilities, and dental offices, standard environmental testing just isn't enough. Mid-Atlantic steps in with high-stakes pathogen detection, performing heterotrophic plate counts and Pseudomonas testing to ensure totally sterile and safe environments for vulnerable patients. The stakes simply couldn't be higher here. So the crucial point is how these diverse capabilities perfectly match the needs of highly regulated entities. Think about it. If you're flying, they do aircraft drinking water rule testing for airplane water systems. For federal buildings and GSA facilities, they handle Legionella, lead, and copper. For major highway infrastructure like VDOT culvert projects, they test for MDI, MDA, and SVOCs. They even provide international water testing for U.S. embassies. It's a remarkable illustration of how deeply embedded their expertise is across so many critical sectors. Honestly, I found this next fact completely surprising when reviewing their services. Did you know that bacteria can actually grow in the machining liquids used in industrial manufacturing? Yeah, gram-negative bacteria can thrive in metalworking fluids. Mid-Atlantic performs endotoxin testing in these fluids to assess the risk of bacterial exposure through aerosols, which can cause severe occupational hazards like bronchitis, asthma, and impaired lung function. It just shows this incredibly deep, nuanced understanding of specialized industrial risks. And they applied that exact same microscopic detail to the Earth itself. Their advanced compost, soil amendment, and organic fertilizer analysis is wildly detailed. They test for polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, essential NPK nutrients, and EPA 503 toxic metals. They even screen for pathogens like Salmonella and Listeria, and analyze the physical size distribution of particles, which includes things like inserts and plastics. Furthermore, they offer GLP-compatible methods to test the superficial surface tension of water. Section 3. Seamless Field to Lab. But an analytical lab is really only as good as the samples it receives, right? Let's shift our narrative from what they test inside the lab to the logistics of how they physically execute this work out in the field. Gathering accurate samples is a science unto itself. They utilize highly specific field tools, 24-hour composite samplers for sewer and stormwater outfalls, specialized balers for monitoring wells, and Hobo Bluetooth data loggers for continuous pH and temperature monitoring. Best of all, their licensed water operators and certified sample technicians are available 7 days a week, even for remote location collections. Let's move ahead and see how this builds into a totally seamless workflow for their clients. Step 1, field sampling, or a super convenient courier pickup. Step 2, fast, precise lab work with priority rush analysis available if you need it. Step 3, they actually take the administrative burden off their clients by providing free uploading of public samples to the VDH EPA CMDP database. This frictionless pipeline makes ensuring compliance virtually effortless for public water systems and schools. I love this quote from the lab because it perfectly summarizes everything we've looked at today. Experience you can trust. With decades of experience and extensive certifications, our team has the knowledge and credentials to give you peace of mind every step of the way. Backed by all those state certifications, plus SAM and EVO registrations, they truly are an indispensable veteran partner in environmental safety. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to consider. When environmental compliance really matters, when human health, regulatory standing, and community safety are actually on the line, does your lab have a 35-year track record? The sheer diversity of services and the decades of deep expertise we've explored today highlight exactly why relying on a deeply experienced, proven laboratory is absolutely crucial. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer. Keep asking questions and keep exploring the science that keeps our world safe.